Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are doing some wood burning. I'm gonna do 4 crafts for you guys. I'm using a a wood burning paste, and then for part 2, I'm using the scorch pen. That way, it's different ways that you can do wood burning. It's a whole lot of ways, but I'm only showing you guys 2. But for this video, I'm using just the wood burning paste. So this is the natural wood slices. I got these at Amazon, and I got this ring from the Dollar Tree. It's like supposed to be a wooden ring, but I got that, and then the wood slices, I got those from Amazon again, like I said, and I put them in place. These are like ornaments, so they do have like the hole on it, and they come with like these pieces of twine. So I grabbed a piece of twine because I wanted that to be like a hook for the wreath. So once I had measured them out and then decided where I was going to put them and what sizes fit, because they all come in different sizes. This is a 50 pack. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but everything will be in the description box below. Once I put them all together, which ones were going to go where, I then use my hot glue gun. I glue them in place, and then I take out 7 small ones because I'm going to put welcome on here. So once I put I glued all the other pieces onto the wreath, I put these on the table, and then I cut these letters out from with my Cricut, and then but I sand the pieces first, and then I put them on there, and then I'm using the wood burning paste. Now I got this paste from Temu. I didn't get it from Amazon, but Amazon also has some. I did get the scorch pen from Amazon, but you'll see that in next week's video. So I grabbed my silicone brush, and I started to put the paste onto the letters, well, the stencil that I used, and you let it sit for 10 minutes. So after I was done, 10 minutes, I set a timer, 10 minutes went by, I then used my weeding tool and take all of them out. Now I moved my mat because my mat is like a silicone mat, and that heat gun really heats up, so I didn't want that to burn. So I took that off, and then I just did it on the table. Make sure that when you are done using the heat gun, you let this cool down because they are hot. Every piece in this video does get hot. Every piece of wood that you does use this gun on, it gets really hot. So to avoid getting burned, just handle them with care and just be careful. So once I was done using my heat gun and put them on here, the heat gun I did get at Amazon as well, I started to use some beeswax. Now I have did wood burning before, but I used the mineral spirits, and it was fine, but it's a bit strong. But then I ended up using this because I wanted to see how it was, like how it came out, and I wasn't too happy with it, so I only used it on this. I'm not gonna lie. I think the beeswax is good for other wood pieces, but what I was doing here, I don't know, for me, I don't know if it's the wood burning paste, I don't know what it was. But I used wood stain, the natural wood stain, by Verifane, and then I put the stain on here. Now of course they brought the natural wood out, and I don't know, I guess I wasn't feeling it, but I do end up using another wood stain later on in the video. But the W, to me, I think it just burned too much. It had like a burnt spot on the middle. I didn't like it, so I flipped the disc over, and then I did the W again, and that's what I'm doing here, just doing all over. The second time it came out better. Now I'm gonna tell you why it burnt the first time. I was doing it on low, but it's better to keep it on low because when I put it on high, that's what burnt the piece. And it had like that big dark spot in the middle of the W, and I did not like it. So if you're gonna use it, just make sure that you put it on low. If you notice, I did the same thing with the M, and I didn't realize it till after, and I said, you know what, but the W was a lot worse. But this will complete that one. I do glue these in place, and then I do hang that up, but then we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, so for the next craft, I'm using the cutting board, the wooden cutting board from Dollar Tree. And then I'm doing using the same method as I'm using on every other piece in here. I'm using my vinyl as a stencil. I'm putting it on the piece, and then I'm using the silicone brush to put the wood burning paste on here, and then I'm using the heat gun again to burn the wooden paste, the wood burning paste. Now, I thought that I put this on here straight, and I did not, and I didn't realize it until I started to use my heat gun, and by then I couldn't take it out because I had already put the paste on there. So I wasn't too happy about it. However, this is for me. I'm not selling this piece. I'm not giving it to anybody, so it's fine. Um, and this is gonna go in my kitchen, on my kitchen counter. I'm not gonna hang it on the wall. I don't really have that much wall space in my kitchen anyway, so it's fine to put it on my counter. But like I said, I did the same method. I brushed this on. There was a piece that was sticking up a little bit, and I pushed it down because I didn't want the wood paste to seep through it and then mess it up. But after I was done brushing all that on, after I peel it off, I used the heat gun to burn the wood burning paste on here so my design can come up. This is like an orange kind of thing, like the wood burning paste is kind of orange, so it kind of, I don't know, it just looks weird. But the heat gun just, it burns it so it can look better. If you can see on the video, it does get darker on there so you can see it burning onto the wood. And then I move on to the next step, which is to put the wood stain on it. So I used again the natural wood stain on here, and then I grabbed like the back piece because I had this perfect wood. I didn't stain the back piece. Like I said, this is for me. I'm not selling this piece. I'm not giving it to anybody. I figured, I was coming up with something new, and I figured it would be cute to stand it rather than to hang it up on my wall. I don't have that much wall space in my kitchen anyway, so it was fine to stand it up on the counter. So I found these cute little hinges at Home Depot for about $3. And then once I marked off where they were going to go, I used my drill to drill the holes onto the piece, and then I drill it all in place. Okay, so I didn't want this piece to like actually fall when I had it on on the counter. So what I did was I drilled a small hole on the back, and then that twine that I had left over from the wood slices, I just like put one through, and then the other end of that piece I glued onto the cutting board because I wanted to make sure that it would stop at a certain length and didn't open all the way. Once I put enough glue on there, then I put I guess just tape to hold it in place and finish drying. But I'm pretty sure there's another way to do this. But anyway, this is how I did mine. Like I said, this is for me. I'm not selling this piece. I'm not giving it to anybody. It's for me, for my kitchen. This part is not going to be seen. So I didn't worry much about how it came out. I just didn't want the cutting board to fall if I was ever to open it. Even though it's actually pretty good. Like the hinge is not that loose, so it's fine. But that's what I ended up doing with this piece. But this will complete that one. We can go on to the next one. Okay, so for our third craft, we're doing the wooden leaves from the dollar store. Dollar Tree has these pretty wooden leaves, and I grabbed 3, and I put grateful, thankful, blessed on them, and I did the same method. I used the vinyl, put it on. I used my silicone brush to put on the wood burning paste, and then I used my heat gun to burn it up. So same thing as before. The only thing different that I did with this one was that I didn't like how it got all yellowed up after I was done using the heat gun. So I used some mineral spirits just to see how, like, the difference on how it came up, only because if, like, once you see what I'm doing, you'll see the difference. Now with this one, I used mineral spirits and then I used the natural wood stain, which is no color to it. It's just, it'll bring out the wood on the piece that you're wood staining. And then I went over it with the golden oak just to give it some color, because I didn't like how that yellow was still there and I wasn't too happy with it, so I ended up going over it with the golden oak. Now for the second piece, which is grateful, I just went over with the wood stain. I didn't go over it with the natural, and I didn't use the mineral spirits because I just thought it would have been okay to do it that way. I didn't know it was going to come out so dark. And then with the thankful, I just used the natural wood stain and the golden oak over, because I felt like that brought it out a little bit more. It was a little bit brighter, like lighter. The grateful looks darker because I only used the one wood stain. I was not happy with that one. So that one is a little darker, but they are like different. They're kind of like the same shade, but one looks lighter than the other one, because I just tried the whole different methods and I was not happy with it because I didn't like how with this wood, every wood is different. So with this wood, when I did use the heat gun, it turned the words kind of like yellow. You can see it in the video that the words are kind of yellow, and I didn't like how that looked. So I was trying to change it, and I felt like if I put the heat gun a little longer, I probably would have burned it, and I didn't want to do that. So I stopped where I could, and then I just started using everything else on there. So that's how this one turned out. I end up putting some hooks in the back so I can hang these on the wall after they dry completely, and then I hung them up. So you'll see how they look when I hang them up. Now since this wood was so thin, I couldn't screw the hangers on there. So I had to use my hot glue just to glue them in place. So I put enough glue on there to hold them in place. So when I do hang them up, they don't fall off. But that's the only different thing that I did with these hangers on putting them onto the wood. We can move on to the next one. Okay, so for our last and final craft, we're doing the wooden spoons. My mistake with this one, actually I made two mistakes with this one. I didn't sand the wood prior to putting the vinyl on, and then I used the indent side of the spoon. I should have used the back side of the spoon, because putting it on the indent of the spoon, the vinyl didn't stick, but you'll see that part in a sec. It just wasn't staying in place. So when I put the paste on it, that part gave me a hard time. So if you see this, it's just, you see that bubble at the end. I'm using my weeding tool to like maybe push it down, but it was the indent part, so it wasn't staying. And then I didn't sand the wood either, so that's why it wasn't sticking either. So just make sure you sand your wood before you do that. Like, if don't make my mistake. And I just feel like I should have put it on the opposite side, and then I think it would have been a lot better if I would have did that, because I wouldn't have to worry about the indent and I wouldn't have to worry about the words connecting, because the spoon is supposed to say life is short, lick the spoon, but the S and the H from short is together, and then the O from the end from spoon, it's also together. Like I said, these are for me, they're not for anybody. I did it because I was trying something, and I wanted to show the difference with the wood burning paste and the scorch pen, which I'm doing the video for next week. Here I'm doing the natural vinyl and the golden oak. I like how it looked together when I mixed both together. I like that it gave that lighter color. This one did turn a little bit yellow as well, but it was okay. I was fine with it because I had it happen with the other ones too. So maybe it's the burning paste. I don't know what it is, but I'll find out when I use the scorch pen next week's craft. I only put one hook on these, but when I put the one hook, I did put them on the wall, but then it kept like sliding to the bottom, like sliding off. So I had to put the extra nail to hold it in place. But this will complete this video. If you stay to the end, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. To the next one. Bye.